How do we extract specific data we need from an unsorted and unsortable list? At one point or another, we've all encountered a dataset formatted in a strange, unsortable way, with the main underlying issue that multiple department heads are married to that format, and they do not want it altered. Using a combination of commonly used Excel functions, index, match, and indirect, I will show you how this was built and how it ignores the unsorted nature of the raw list. This hotel's example, we immediately see the list updating each time we select a different hotel to show which employees are booked to that hotel. Let's build one for a flight class. Starting with where is the first appearance of the sought variable. Using a single match function, this information tells us Excel found the first instance of business class in row 4 of our selected column, in this case column J. Using this new knowledge, our next formulas will continuously build from that number. Before that, let's do a simple count if to see how many times business class appears in our dataset. We will come back to that number later. Going back to the list, we found that business class is spread out in no discernible cadence throughout the dataset. The next business class appears in row 6, row 8, row 10, and then it jumps to row 21. If Excel will always return the first match it finds, how can we tell Excel to return any row number other than 4? The answer is by creating a moving match function. Let's keep note of the next 3 business class appearances in rows 6, 8, and 10. This next match function will nest an indirect function within it, replacing the typical lookup array. What is the indirect function? In a nutshell, it takes a string and turns it into a valid cell reference. If you are unfamiliar with the indirect function, I've included a link below to an earlier video I did on this subject. We write match, select our desired lookup value. Now the indirect function. This is saying, I want my lookup array to be in column J, but I want the first cell to start at the cell after the location of the previous one. That way Excel will quote-unquote ignore any of the previously found values and start the search after that. The number returned is the next instance's relative location from the previous one. When we add those two numbers, we get our next row, 6. Then so on with 8, 10, and 21. Going back to the 37 in cell A2. That 37 means there are 37 employees assigned to business class. Once all 37 are found, the function starts throwing back NAs. Let's wrap an if function around to get rid of the NAs. Our logic check will be if the number of counted rows is less than or equal to the number of times business class appears, then run the function. Otherwise, return a number 0. Then, copying over the original headers, we can use the newly found match row numbers to create an index match. First, index, and we'll select all the columns that contain the dataset. For the first match, we've already done the hard work in column A, so it'll be a simple sum function anchoring the start of the range so it can expand as it is dragged. Be sure to anchor the column portion too in the range end portion so it doesn't expand to the right. Lastly, we write a match for the headers. Fill right, fill down, format any necessary cells, and done, right? Not quite. At the bottom, we see multiple appearances by Julian Myers. That is because his is the last employee that was assigned to business class. While we like Julian, we don't like seeing any unnecessary repeating values. We'll wrap a simple if function around our index match, saying, if the value in column A, anchoring the column, is not 0, then run our function. Otherwise, return a blank. Fill right, fill down, format any necessary cells, create a table. And now we're done. Thank you for following along with this creative Excel exercise. In my post, I've included a link to download this example and welcome you to try it with room types. I hope this video has helped you or will help you with any future Excel projects. Thank you for watching.